I am Eject1, and welcome to another episode inside of my survival world. And in this episode, it's going to be a little different, because we are doing a world tour, because this is episode 100. Yep, that's right. This one has outlived my other survival world that I had a long time ago. Some of you might remember that one. And this one had, because that one was only 87 episodes, this one has made it to 100, which is a pretty big deal for me. And a pretty big deal for you, I guess, if you value this channel like that. And by the way, if you do value this channel, would you please leave a like and subscribe, because it does mean a lot to me. It does help the channel, and we are trying to grow this channel to at least 1,000 subs. Maybe more, but we're starting with 1,000. Anyways, so we're going to be doing a world tour today. And that is why we are back in this area, which might look a little strange to some of you who are new. But this is the starter area. This is where everything started. So, let's see. So, where do we start? Well, the spawn area is somewhere in this wheat field. And, yeah, and you can see some of these builds that I've done. It is nice to come back here. I still have to take down my Christmas decorations. So, just ignore that. Well, actually, don't for now. But, I guess the first place to start, because spawn is somewhere over there, and I don't know where it is exactly. But, we'll start with the house. This is the starter house. This is where everything started. We have our guard dog who put his face in the wall. How you doing? Yeah, so this is the starter house. It's very nice and simple and very cozy in my opinion. There's a lot of torches. I need to update this. But yeah, we have, let's see, where do we start? So you have your entrance. You have a dog. You have a ladder that goes up and down. We'll take that in a moment. It's turning nighttime already. I have a furnace. Ooh. I need that coal. We have a crafting table. I think the furnace was a later addition because I was trying to smelt something. It was randomly placed there. But we come here. This is the living space. I can sit on the couch and watch some TV. I could read books if there were books. And if I go into this door here, this is where I sleep. I don't have any books here. Chest for storing stuff. I have a composter because why not? And if I come over here, you can see I have a bunch of chests. I haven't made a cauldron for this. Actually, let's fix this. You know, I know I didn't really want to build in this episode because this is to show you stuff, but which one was it? Nope. That's how I make a cauldron. Okay. We'll put it right there. And now it's fixed. Alright, so now we have a working faucet. And I like to leave it up for the off position. I'll go to sleep in this bed. Just so we can skip today. So now we have a completed kitchen. Mostly, well, we have a completed kitchen as much as it can. But I have all these barrels, and these barrels are just there to store stuff. I have stairs there. This has some of my other stuff. Yeah, just has a bunch of things. This has some charcoal. I'll take that. Yeah, it just has all sorts of pretty neat things from collecting. Ooh, I could use that. I know I'm kind of collecting things as I go, but yeah, and this is supposed to be a representation of my fridge. It's kind of it's just a couple barrels and a door, but yeah, that's sort of what it represents. This is where I would cook my food. And yeah. Now, if we go up the ladder, we go into my attic, and this is a lot more useful because there's actually stuff stored here. This is where all my dyes and stuff were, and I have some chests here. Just gonna take that. There's not really a lot in some of these chests. It's more just it is storage, but it's also more for decoration. But these chests here have stuff. And this is all sorts of stuff. And this is like my plants and stuff. I tried to organize this stuff, but it didn't last long. And then if we come down here, and if we come down here, you can see we have this. Now, this is supposed to be my garage of sorts. I do have a horse, but it's in the city. we'll get to that later. And this is where I'd store him. This is actually where his home is. And yeah, you come out here, and there's some doors here. I also have a mini door for when you don't, because this is for the humans. This is for the horse, or you could use this for humans too, but that's just what I use this for. Okay, now I thought I saw something. But we come up here, and it's got all sorts of shelving down there too. Okay, so I think now we'll start off, and where do we want to go? I think we'll go this way first because it makes sense. Now, I will say, future plans for this area. This won't be wheat fields anymore. I'm going to in a few episodes we will be changing this out to. I feel like this is a good spawn area. Oh, what was that? I feel like this is a good spawn area, but I just don't feel like wheat fields really reflects that this is a really good spawn area, and so I want to change that because I want it to be a lot cooler of a thing. Now, if you don't know, this is actually we had Christmas, and so I did a little something for Christmas, and yeah, I still have to take that down. Let's see, where do we start from here? Let's see. Now we do have these nice little bridges. I do really love these bridges. I think these are like so far some of my favorite builds in this world, and I do like this little river that flows through here. I just think this is such a cool thing. They're all the same bridges, but they're just really cool because they just adapt to the land, but also they give sort of a, instead of just being a bridge that's flat or a bridge that just goes up, it's, you know, it goes up, but it's in a arch sort of way, and I just think it's really cool. So let's see, we'll take that bridge there, and I guess we'll make our way this way towards Oakwood, or the colony of Oakwoods. Still a tongue twister to me. Okay, so I think we'll start here. Now I'm probably going to be changing this. I'll leave this, but now this was supposed to be a spot for Butters, the sheep. It was going to be his bedroom or place to stay before I change my place where I'm staying at now. But if we go over here into Butters' butt, you might see we have a water elevator. And if we go down, this was supposed to be my, this is going to be my, my museum. And it is a pretty cool thing, and I'm pretty happy with a lot of this stuff. You can see we hit 500 subs back in August. And, yeah. And I did try to make something that was like, now this is supposed to be like a little city, representing a little city, because I started making the city around the time we hit 500 subs, and I wanted to have it reflect stuff. And then, yeah, because I wanted to I want the 500 subs and stuff like that to represent certain milestones that I've hit in the city, or like, so like around 500 subs is when I was working on the city, and I think that's a memorable thing. And so I made like a little mini display city because I'm big into modeling or model making and stuff, so I figured this would be a kind of a fitting thing for this. And I did also use a bunch of acacia trapdoors because that's mainly what I had, but also because my city is in a savanna where that's common. But yeah, I'm probably going to be changing this into something else, or I'm probably going to be putting my, yeah, I'm probably going to be, well, actually, what am I saying? And then 100 subs. I was going to do something for 100 subs, and this is, yeah, as you can see, I was trying to do something here. It says 400 instead of 100. That's a little strange. Now, I did hit 100 subs back in my old survival world before this, but I decided I was going to put something here for this. But, yeah, that's why there's a jack-o'-lantern there, because I had a lot of pumpkin pies and a lot of pumpkin-based stuff, so, yeah. Now, I'm not going to be using this as a museum anymore. I don't know what I'll do with it. Maybe a sanctuary for Butters, but right now I'm not sure. But we can exit his butt. So yeah, that is going to go through a pretty significant change, and I'm going to have to figure out something for a new museum, which I have a few ideas. I might do something for the city, but we'll see. Actually, no, I might do it somewhere here, but I don't feel like it's right to put all my accomplishments of subscriber counts down under where you can't see it. I want it to be displayed so people can see it. And that's one of the changes that'll be happening in this area after I take out the wheat fields. Now let's see, where do we start? Now this, going off the path a little bit, is my horse stable. And you can see it's, I got a bunch of horses and they're all just hanging out here. They're having a good time. Now if I go here, this is my logging camp. Well, this is actually my sawmill. This is where my this is my train tracks, as you can see. Well, it's going to be train tracks when I get rails. And when I connect it up. Actually, I'll get to that in a moment. Soon. But yeah, this is my log storage, or what would be my log storage. And I guess it's kind of empty. I guess I didn't really finish it. Yeah, you can see it's a pretty nice looking build. And then I have the sawmill. And you know this is a sawmill. Because this is where they split the logs. And yeah, I just think it's a really cool idea. I did take a lot of reference from actual sawmills and logging camps that I've seen on the internet. I just think it's a really cool thing. But if we come over here and ooh, there's stuff over here. Cool. And you can see this is sort of a kind of a log drop off because this is like where they drop off the logs and then they process them. So I just think it's a really cool looking thing. And what does this say? Oh yeah, it has a name. It's called the Wolf's Peak Sawmill. And I just think it's a really cool thing. I just think it looks super cool. And it's called Wolf's Peak. Now I don't know if he's still up here. But I did come up here and he might have despawned. Oh no, he's still here. So during this episode, I actually was messing around here and I seen a wolf just hanging around up here. He wasn't really moving or despawning. So I took this guy and I tied him to a lead, and there's a lead underground, and he's just been here ever since. So because he's a wolf that's sitting on a peak, so Wolf's Peak Sawmill. So it's a peak that's peak that's named in his honor. So he can feel very proud that he has his name on a sign somewhere. I'll probably change this in the future because I want it to look more like a sawmill than it does now. But I have some ideas for that. And let's see. This is, well, there's nothing really out here, but this is where I get all my trees. There is a spruce forest out there. That's where I get majority of my spruce. But yeah, and then there's this, which was going to be a road. Never got around to it, obviously. But if we go here, back to the farm, this is my horse stable. This is my silo. And this is supposed to be my seed silo because I have all my chickens here. Hello, chickens. And I was going to have something where I can drop off my seeds, and then it goes into a giant sortation thing with a bunch of hoppers, and then it would eventually sort into here, and I basically have all my seeds here. So then all I'd have to do is just whenever I want to feed these guys and breed them up for eggs and chicken, I just grab some seeds, I can feed them. And yeah, and ooh, it's turning nighttime again. So yeah, so that's how this would have worked. This is how this would work. I am probably going to leave this farmstead. Yeah, a lot of the builds will probably be staying, or at least they'll be modified. And I try to make all the buildings in this area, I try to make them all kind of fit the same build style. So they all fit in. So that's why they all have these like upside down staircases, and the roofs are made of andesite, just so they all kind of match. And then if we go here, this is probably, I don't know if I would say this is my proudest build, or the biggest build of this area. This is the Colony of Oakwoods, named by Cubus, who is a pretty active member of my Discord and watches my videos a lot. Hello, Cubus. And yeah, the first thing you'll notice is we come to this gate. I just walk in because I own this world. You got a couple of ticket offices or ticket booths. And yeah, you come across this bridge. Now this was actually a village, and this was actually the first village transformation I ever did. And yeah, it's a pretty nice looking place. There's still a lot to be done. Yeah, it's kind of a. You can kind of see that there's a bunch of stuff. I just walked over on a bench, and I think one of these guys likes to sleep on the bench. I can't remember. But if we come in here, you got this nice little restaurant. And it's pretty nice. I have some stuff here. Oh, a bunch of stuff. Wow. But yeah, so I have a bunch of stuff here. This was for a chef villager, because he'd come in here and he'd make food for the villagers and for players stopping by. So I have that. And then this is the post office. And so I want to have like I still want to do this. I want to have a post office system throughout the world. So you have like someone who sits here and they take your profession or not your, basically someone that stands here and they kind of take your they give you your packages and stuff, which I still want to do. I have that idea in my head to do a some kind of mail system. This one I think is this one is the cartographer. I'm gonna keep checking chests throughout this world because I keep leaving stuff all random throughout the world. But this is my cartographer's area, and this is because I figure if it's so close to because someone's gonna come in here, get a map, or before they leave the colony, they will actually grab a map so they don't get lost. So that's why that's over there. And also these are usually built like right where buildings were. This is a department store or clothing store. And we have some armor stands with some stuff here. And you have a cash register and stuff. It's a pretty cool looking build. We come here and this is supposed to be an auto store. It looks a little bit like my house. But this is supposed to be an auto detailer, or not auto detailer, but dealership. Now we don't have cars in Minecraft, as you might know. So this was going to be a horse dealership. And you can kind of tell that because that's supposed to be a tire. So that's at least what the idea is. Now this build has, as far as I know, the only surviving villager, which is a cleric. And this is a church. Now this was built where the old church building is. And so he just comes here and does his thing. Hello, sir. And yeah, so I built it to be as best of a church as I can make it with this. So, and I do like the stained glass. It does make it look a lot more characterized. There is a bell up there. It's kind of not possible to reach, but it's there. And then we come out here, and this is where this project started to kind of fall apart, in my opinion. Up to this point, well, a little bit after this point, because I don't know, I started losing inspiration to work on this, or I kind of moved away. So, yeah, from this project. Now, if you come here, this is probably my favorite build of this because I'm really happy with how this turned out. It's actually my this is actually a gas station. Well, it's a horse gas station. This was actually inspired by Hermitcraft's passing gas. And if you're familiar with that, that was I think season 8 or no, that was season 9. That was season 9. They're on like season 10 now. And this was inspired by that. Eventually it was gonna have the XP thing, and I might still do that. But yeah, basically you could just bring your horse in, you have them stop, and then my plan was I was gonna have a bunch of carrots or wheat or apples. I was gonna have a bunch of horse stuff stored in here, and then I guess if you need, and I figured like, okay, so a lot of times gas stations will have like garbage cans where you could throw things away and stuff. Well, I might, and I was going to do that with this. I might still do that where you could just throw things away that you don't need. But this is sort of kind of like, not the opposite of it, but it's sort of like a similar concept where, so this is so you could give your horse some food, which would simulate the gas, which makes sense. But you could also, and this is supposed to be the pumps, but this is sort of like if you need to stop off and craft something really quick, then you can do so. So that's why it's crafting tables. And we come in here, and this is built as close to a gas. This is meant to be just a small gas station. And you come in here, and there's all sorts of things. Yeah, I have chests full of like absolute junk throughout the world. I have to fix that problem because it's becoming a real problem in this world. And then this road here, this is the most unfinished part of this area because I just stopped building and I went off to the city. And this is like, I think, the last surviving house of this area. Now, this area here, this little wraparound, this is going to be where the passing gas thing was going to go when I did that. So there's that. Next, we're going to look at the town hall. Now, originally, this town hall was going to have... now, this is a slab because... no, it's a block. It was slabs. Because there's a villager. So, it's actually hollow underneath here. Like, there's a bunch of stuff down there. There might be some villagers down there. And basically, a villager got stuck in here, and his head was peeking out. So, I was going to make it so a villager's head was going to stay here. So, when you walked in, the villager just look at you. Like, I just thought it was kind of a creepy thing, but it's kind of cool. We have a complaint box, a secretary's desk. And this is usually where the secretary would keep you out or try to keep you from going into, bothering the mayor. But there's no one in there, and also I'm the mayor. I'm not the mayor, unfortunately, but this is the mayor's office, if you can get past the secretary. So then we'll leave that, and then we'll go to, I think this is actually the last build. Technically the last build. This is actually the hospital. You have the emergency lane. Not much of a lane here, but it's there. You have your front entrance, and yeah, it looks pretty nice here. And then this was going to be like a gift shop or like a food court thing. That was going to be the little service desk. And they come here, and we have ladders. And every floor is the same, so I'm only going to show one. Like, they're exactly the same all the way through. But you have your floor, you have your nurse's spot where the nurses would sit and help you out or help patients. You come in here, and it's a very, this is a toilet. This is where people go do things. This, I think, was going to be the janitor's closet for keeping the floors clean. Well, the janitor's closet, but also where they keep, like, the electronics, other electronics and stuff, like supply closet. These are meant to be the actual hospital rooms. There's no beds because I didn't get that far. And these are just the same all the way through. So, yeah. But it's a nice looking hospital, and I tried to get, within the means that I had. And it does have a roof access. Now, let's see. This was going to be a bank. If we come across here. Yeah, this is supposed to be a bank. There's going to be this is supposed to be a vault. You could sit here and wait way too long, or way longer than you need to, and cancel all your plans to, handle your banking stuff. This is going to be where they store money and stuff like that. Yeah, very secure bank, in my opinion. This, now, if you're going to have a bank, you need to be able to protect it, which is why I put it right next to the police station. And this is, I like this build. It's alright. So, basically, you have your, I don't think it's your sheriff. This is more your, just your deputy or a station master. And then you have your little jail cell. Now, this isn't like a permanent, jail fixture. Like, this isn't like prison or anything. This is more just to hold someone until they can get processed. So it's just like a temporary holding place. And it's got a bed so someone can't sleep. This was going to be a horse area. Yeah, very real, authentic, very real and very authentic police station. Definitely doesn't need like a million other things. And then if you come here, this is where the housing district is, the housing part. And, yeah, this house is the most complete. The other ones are kind of absolutely not. But you got a few houses up here. You do have a few beds. I think the villagers refuse to sleep here, except for like maybe there. I keep trying to check things. This one does have a nice little backyard with a... See, I am pretty happy with this build, or the house. This is the first house in this area, so... Yeah, I'm quite happy with it. Now this, all these barrels are meant to be mailboxes for the villagers. And you can see like there's all sorts of nice little things. It looks pretty cool and pretty cozy, I think. Now if you come here, we're going to... Yeah, and these are all pretty much the same. Like I kind of just copy and paste them. Now if I come here, I'm going to keep checking chests for good stuff. And then if we come here, this is going to be torn apart. And that is only because this is not... Well, maybe it might be torn apart. It might be reworked. This is supposed to be the train station, or the small train station. And it's a nice looking train station. But, yeah, now this is... It is a nice looking train station, but I think it could be better. And also because I'm going to be putting a train station over there in the main area, and it's going to be a much bigger, much grander thing than this. And yeah, this is sort of where I've kind of stopped. There is one more thing we need to look at that is tied to this. That is tied to this town, but it's not really tied to the town. And that is actually up here. Oh yeah, there's a second villager house. But yeah, so I tried to do a bunch of things with this, and I had a lot of fun with this, but I think Oakwoods could be... I think Oakwoods could be a lot better, a lot more fun looking, because it is kind of... The only problem I have with this is that it is kind of like all the same color buildings and same build style, which I tried to go for because I wanted to stay within the same block palette. But I'm going to change this into something else that's going to... I want to change all this into other things that is going to better reflect what's going to go on in the rest of the area. So that's at least the plan with that. And then another build we have, which is, I'm pretty sure this was actually inspired by Dan TDM's survival lab. Or is it the survival lab? It's Dan TDM's lab that you might remember. Now the first thing we have is an unfinished rocket. I was going to use that to go look for Butters, but he came early as a Christmas present. But we can come in here, and this is inspired by Dan TDM's survival lab or experiments lab. We do have a scientist, and he's working with what he has. So, and he's got a place to sleep, so that's important. I guess we can go up here this time. But he does have a nice... But if he needs to take a break from out there, he can come out here and have a nice little look around and see what's going on outside. He does have a radar dish, so he can scope out things. So yeah, this is the scientist. Now like I said, this is gonna be changed out. This will be this is gonna be completely transformed. There are some things that'll stay, but they're gonna be modified so they're not the exact same. Like I want to keep the gas station, but I want to change it so it doesn't look as bland and boring as it does. The church and things, but a lot of this stuff is going to go through a major transformation, like really big transformation. So, yeah. Also, I need to repopulate this because my villagers, I think there's all but 2 to 3 villagers, and I think at least 1 or 2 are down underground because that's all hollow. So, yeah, there's that. Now, what else do we want to look at? We can go... I guess we can go this way. This is going to be a long video, so you might want to pause it and grab something to drink. I'll try not to make it too long. Now, if I come this way, I do have a bunch of sugarcane growing, just so I have infinite amount of sugarcane whenever I need it. And then I come to this, and this is just a nice little bridge. And also my mine for start. Now, one of my mines for starting out is somewhere over there. I couldn't find it or couldn't be bothered to go look for it. It was like the second mine that I found in this world. This leads to the first. And because a lot of my builds use a lot of andesite in this area, so it's important to find that. And so I found a bunch of it over here. There's a bunch of other stuff here as well. And it's a pretty nice looking area. This is where I would come to get my andesite, but of course I no longer come here to get it. And that is because there's no more andesite here. There's other stuff like copper I'll have to get. And then I think this is also the same area. And I think I found it in episode 1. I think I found it in episode 1. I've not done anything with it yet. I'll have to I don't think I've touched it since. Let me see if I can find it. It should be around here somewhere. I hear them. So they're around here somewhere. Yeah, I think this is it. There is a spawner right there that I have not been bothered to get to yet. I'll have to remember to come back here. Someone posted in the comments that to transform that. And actually, I do need to transform that because I do have a bunch of clerics in my world that I need to trade with to get some redstone. So, yeah, so there's that. It's a project I haven't started yet. But I think I'll do that when I come back here and I transform this. And that might be the next big thing we work on, actually, because I really want to sink my teeth. I really want to get in on this project because I really want something that really is more inviting. Well, it's not that this is inviting. This isn't as fun or as creative or as cool looking, I think, as it can be. But yeah, so let's see. Next thing we can do is come over here. Actually, we'll take a different path. We'll take the other path. But yeah, I want to change this to look a lot better. I know I keep saying that, but just know this is all going to be going under one big transformation. I'll try to keep some of the buildings because I do like them. And I don't want to get rid of things that I don't need to yet. So, but a lot of it's going to be changed to look cooler. This is a mine entrance, it was going to be a mine entrance. I was just collecting dirt. Well, it is a mine entrance, actually. There's some stuff here. And and this is actually a double-sided mine. This goes 2 different ways. And I decided, well, I could cover it up, but that wouldn't be any fun. So why not add a little mine thing here? So, it just kind of sticks out of the wheat fields. It's kind of a random spot, but I think it works. Now, if I come here, now this was going to be my iron smelter, and you can see that I had this giant cauldron that in universe, it's on a hinge, and so once it fills up with enough iron. So basically, once it fills up enough iron, it would drop out here, and this would be sort of the cast, and you could cast like weapons and stuff and tools. This was going to be, I believe, this is going to be a smelter of some kind. And you can see that I tried to texture this and give it some detail. So, like, the deep slate's actually supposed to represent, that's supposed to be like ashes from the fire. And if you come up here, you can actually see I did make a little thing where people might drop off buckets of lava into the cauldron, even though the cauldron is empty. Now, one thing I want to show. Alright, so the next thing I want to show is actually if you come here. Now this giant torii gate, you can walk through here, and this is meant to be sort of like a Zen. This is supposed to be my Zen Garden, or my Zen Garden, where it's supposed to be relaxing, if you ignore the giant building, but it can be kind of relaxing. But you come down here, and this is actually this was a natural cave that was here, and yeah, and I just took the cobblestone, and I placed the cobblestone to make it look like this has been chipped away at by a pickaxe, and to detail it. But it is a natural cave, and it did actually come out to here. Now, this was all water originally, but I covered it up in grass, and I terraformed it. And it's nowhere near done, but I think it's in a pretty good spot. And this is just one of those projects you work on over time. But I do have a fish tank, a fish aquarium. Very nice looking. And this is supposed to be one of those flowing water things. I think there's a... No, I don't think there's a piston up there. But this all flows on one block, on one source block, so it's all going down on one source block. So if I cut that off, it'll cut the water, which I think is a really cool feature. And then, let's see, we have this. We have a nice little peaceful tree. And if we come over to here, it's supposed to be a little hidden spot underneath the waterfall, which I think is really cool. Because I wasn't sure what to do with this area. It's kind of a awkward spot. So I figured, why not adapt to the land? Because it would have been a shame to... Because it would have been a shame to cover up all this, like... You know, try to cover all this up and such. So I really don't want to do that. So I wanted to decorate it, make it look nice, and take advantage of the land space. This was going to go underground. I'm not sure where, though. So, it's a really nice looking area. And if we climb up here, and back to the surface. So yeah, it's a really nice looking area. Then if I come here, I think the last thing we'll look at, well, second to last thing. This is what I made my official mine. And I used to just jump down here. You got to be kind of careful with this, because there are spots where you can just plummet to your death. So I recommend just going like this every so often. But we come down here, and as you can see, I did do some strip mining, and I did find some diamonds. I think that's diamonds right there. Is that? No, I actually gave up on this spot because I went next to it. And I'm pretty sure there's diamonds there. There are diamonds there. The first diamonds I found. I didn't collect. I think I collected like one maybe. But yeah, I haven't really been here since, because obviously there's no reason to come here for me, except for some ores that I need to dig up. That is blocked off because I have not explored that, and I don't care to explore it. And this is because this gets covered in absolute crazy amounts of mobs. So, ooh, that's a dark spot. Let me fix that. There. Yeah, and then this, I think, was actually my... Oh, yeah, because I did start strip mining this, but then I realized that I'm not low enough. Or it was either too low or too high, but I decided to do strip mining on this level. And so I went to go look for some diamonds. I only did like one strip mine. So let me climb back up here and get out of here. This is going to take a while because it's not a very fast mode of transport. Okay, now we've resurfaced. That took way too long. But, yeah. Now, the last thing we could look at is this random fence gate here that I just placed here for no reason. And then what we can do is we can walk across this nice little bridge, and you can get a good glimpse of things. And I wasn't sure what to do this area. It's a nice looking bridge. Actually, I could show you the bridge, because it looks better from this side. I did put some detail into it. I think it looks pretty good. Ignore all the broken up, beaten up land, but I think it adds to the broken up, beaten up land. Okay. So yeah, that looks pretty good. I quite like that. But you can walk, but yeah, I think it looks pretty good. But you can walk across it, and you can, yeah, basically once you cross this goes off to this area. Now this is a little bit broken up, and I will show the path on camera. It is quite a trek, so I will show it just because I want you guys to get an understanding where everything is in this world. So that's why I'm doing this, especially for the new people. Now, some stuff isn't done. A lot of it's not done because this is like only episode 100, and I put out episodes like all the time. So this is gonna. So these cobblestone blocks are just path markers, just that way I know where to go. Now, originally it was going to go this way, but you don't want to go that way. You want to sort of go off to the left, and you'll find this block, and you go this way. And that is because this direction leads off to the... This is where the actual stuff... not the actual stuff. Basically, if you go this way, you'll actually find your way to the more modern stuff, or the more recent stuff that I've worked on. So yeah, that's kind of where this all winds up. So if we go this way, and you just want to follow the cobblestone blocks, it is a little bit tricky because there's... I'm going to put my axe on because there are mobs around here sometimes. But yeah, you just kind of follow the cobblestone trail. It can be a little bit tricky. I am going to make this into a proper path that leads out to there. But that is currently on hold because, well, the world tour, but also because I actually have big plans for this path because it's kind of a mega project. That's going to have another mega project linked to it, which I think will look pretty cool. It's a nice looking cave over to my left. Gonna eat really quick. Now, I will say, I usually grab some wheat from the wheat fields whenever I die, because that's world spawns over there, and if I have to run all the way back to my city or my Japanese village, it is kind of a trek, so I do get some food every time I die, and I need to come back. Because you will use up all your food points running back, or walking or running through here. And then you take a right from the little water spot there. And then you just kind of follow it as best you can. I know the trees can be tricky. Let's see, what can I talk about while I walk this path? Okay, so now, up to this point, I guess to give a little spoilers to another future project. I didn't say this in the last episode, but there is actually a village just over there. It's hard, you can't see it from here. It's on the other side of this mountain. But there is a village over there. And so where this actually comes here and curves, I actually want to make a link to that village from here. And I just think that'd be really cool. And I just think it'd be really cool to link that village up to it. Now, up to this point, and probably a little bit more, there's going to be a giant bridge, which is a mega project. Yeah, so there is going to be a giant mega project that comes through here, which is going to be a giant bridge. And it's going to, when I say it's going to be big, my plans for it are going to be absolutely massive. It'll probably be like the first single piece mega build in my world, because it's going to span just absolutely far, and it's going to be super big. But yeah, we come to this point, and you've all seen this. This is actually my... Now, you've all seen this. This will start to look familiar to you. This is actually where I cross. And you might be able to see why I want to build a bridge, because swimming in water is annoying. Or it can be. And so I just make one giant bridge. But you can see that this is where the path used to be, because this area used to be one giant forest. It was actually covered in so many trees that it made it hard to walk over here. And so this has all been cleared out, though, because I needed all the wood. So I've just deforested it. And I'll probably continue to deforest it because lots of good trees here. And so, yeah, that's why it looks kind of the way it does. And I'm not exactly following the path here. Well, I am, but I'm not. And then, yeah, so all this, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I might beautify it. I might leave it or something. I'm not sure. But that is because it is so close to our most recent project. So if you get up to this point, you will come across our most recent project, which is our Japanese village, our Japanese-inspired village. And you can see we have our giant... I can take my shield down now. Right. So we have that, and we'll go look at that in a moment. I did build it so it's like a beautiful eyepiece that you can see from lots of different perspectives. But yeah, it's a nice, beautiful thing. But you'll come to this, and eventually when I put in the giant bridge, it's going to cross this. That is the plan. It like this will be part of the bridge, or it'll be part of it'll be part of the bridge essentially. And that's just some railroad tracks. But right now I just have to go up and down, which is kind of annoying, but that's fine. And the train bridge just goes all the way there, goes all the way there. Let's see. Now we could start with this. This is the bathhouse. So it's not decorated, but this is because a lot of this is inspired by Japanese architecture or Japanese buildings you see in like an actual town and stuff. But this is supposed to be, I believe they're called onsens or bathhouses. I might be getting that wrong. And there is going to be a gendered thing. So one is male, one is female. I'm not sure which one is which. Let's see. Now we come across this, because this is another village transformation. I do quite a bit of those here. This is one of the original buildings. I'm not sure what to do with it yet. I actually have an idea that whatever I put here, I'm going to take this and I'm going to see if I can rebuild it in... because this is one of my favorite builds in the survival world. This is my favorite build in the villages in Minecraft, just in general. I don't know why, it's just a nostalgic build and it's really cool looking. And so I don't want to just, quickly get rid of it. My plan is to it's not as nostalgic as the old school one, but it's still a pretty cool build, and I love seeing these whenever I come into the village. And so I don't want to just tear it out. What I think I'll do is I'll actually take this. I might bring it over to the spawn area, and I might rebuild it there. Try to do it block for block. So it's just a classic build that's there. But for now, it's just going to sit there. Now, a lot of these are vacant because I haven't put any interiors in them yet, and I haven't really detailed them. But I did build this nice looking path. And because this village is like a way to get between the spawn area and the city, I figured I might as well make it look nice. And I was going to make it a shanty town, but I decided against it in the end because it's not really I didn't want a shanty town every time I came through here. I didn't think it looked nice, so I chose this. And also because the build style, I was trying to come up with a build style and it really wasn't working out, so I went with this. Now this is, these couple buildings here I've just been using for my own personal use case for storing things. So there's that. Now the next thing we could look at is actually one of the last projects I worked on before the world tour. And that is a train station, because you got to have a train station. And so I have a train station comes through here, and there's a minecart and a staircase. Now this is not looking that good right now because this was sort of a rush job, I consider it. But it is a nice looking train station. I might extend it out a little bit because I want to... This pig who's... I'll help that pig who's morally confused about train tracks. And so, basically, I'm going to extend this out in the future because I feel like it's a little too small for this. I want it to be a bigger station. But once we see that, it's not finished. A lot of things aren't finished in this world. And that just has 2 train tracks that go across there. And there are rails there this time. But now we're going to go up this way before I go forward. We have to go back. That's also the house where the villagers have all been sleeping together. Because I haven't given them proper living quarters yet. But once you've had your fun in the town, you can actually journey up here. There is going to be a bridge here. And that is going to cross over the train tracks that eventually go through here. But you can journey up the stairs, and if your knees don't hurt by the time you climb up these stairs, then, they'll probably hurt either anyways. Because you got to climb 1,000 steps to get up here, and then once you get up here, you can relax and enjoy the beauty of this. And I made the pagoda the entrance. So the pagoda is meant to be sort of like the entrance to this beautiful area, or what will be a beautiful area. It still needs to be decorated and worked on, but it's only got a couple builds. It's got that, and it's got the Japanese temple. This actually is not a temple. I keep calling it that. This is actually a Japanese compound with a temple. And, I just wanted it to look nice and be a nice little tranquil thing. But I also want it to be something that pairs well with this, so I used that as a color palette. And this was sort of a cherry biome. You can kind of see some of the petals, and I think one of the trees is still, yep, it's on the side of the mountain here. And there wasn't very many up here. It was more green trees than pink trees. So I decided to get rid of all the pink trees. Or no, I decided to get rid of all the green trees and rebuild it and just replant a bunch of cherry trees. And so that's why I see a bunch of those there. And I'm steadily repopulating it. But so far it looks pretty good and I quite like it. Now, we're going to go back down. And let's see. Now, there is going to be a fish market up ahead. Well, there was going to be one. And I still have plans for it. I just haven't gotten to it. And this is all going to be opened in the future. Into an actual waterway. Because it looks terrible. But right now it's just kind of being a form of mangrove root storage. But there is a fisherman down there, and he's having a fun time. And that's kind of where my bread has been stored for the past few episodes. This is sort of a sign that this used to be a village because I tore the whole front of this to make the path. But if I come here, and the train bridge goes across there, the eventual train bridge. This is a bridge, and a lot of people seem to like this. This is inspired by Togetsukyo Bridge in Japan, which is a real bridge, which is actually in Kyoto, and it's a. Now, you might think this doesn't fit in with the Japanese village at first because it looks more like because this to me looks more like a bridge you would see in logging camps. And you would be correct with that. However, I tried to make it look different and try to make it fit more with the theme of this, because I could have went with an arched, like a little arch bridge, or I could have made a giant arched bridge. And while I could have done that, I just don't think, because this platform here, this level here, and that were at the same height, and I didn't want to mess that up with an arched bridge. I felt like that would have messed with it. And I didn't want to just go with the traditional Minecraft, because when people build bridges in Minecraft, especially for like Japanese villages, they always tend to build like the arch bridge. And it's like, while that is true in a lot of Asian cultures, I didn't want to do that because I know that's not the only bridges they have. So I wanted to reflect that with this. So it's a unique and interesting build. The shape is based off the modern version, but the wood is, for one, basic, and it hopefully reflects the older style that they used to have, which was just one giant wood bridge. But yeah, so we have that. And now we get back to Broken Up Path. And I was going to work on this in the last episode, actually, but I just did not have the time. I don't get time for a lot of things. I need to spend more time in this world. But I did mark it out, so it shouldn't be too hard to get lost. Or it shouldn't be too easy to get lost. And then I did make this to cross it easier because I got tired of falling off. But you could do this. Now you could choose this path, but I will tell you that if you go down that path, it's going to take way longer. And I don't know about you, but we shouldn't take way longer because this video is already going on like an hour. But I want to show you guys where everything is, so hopefully you guys are okay with that. So I was going to make the tunnel there because I want to make a tunnel. I want to make a path that connects my Japanese village to the city. That was going to be the original one, but I realized that tunnel was going to be way too big, way bigger than I wanted it to be. So I made the path go down there, and it connects up to here. And this is still pretty big, but it's way smaller than the other one. And therefore, hopefully be a lot less work. And I didn't get to the tunnel on time, but I did get up to this point. And this is actually what we worked on in the last episode, as you will probably remember. This is the road, and this actually connects all the way to this road. And as you can see, this was going to be the original tunnel entrance to the other tunnel. I might still do something with it, but I'm not sure. So that's why I'm leaving it for now. But it does come off here. And all my roads in my city are stone. That just makes it a lot cheaper to make in terms of resources. And I don't want my roads to be as dark. I don't know why. It's just Deep Slate has multiple issues with it. For one, it's really hard to dig up once you make a mistake. So I didn't really want to use that. Even though it looks more like roads, I feel like this is a much cheaper alternative. And this to me, okay. So here's the thing. So Deep Slate I would use in more like asphalt road based areas, like smaller country roads or industrial roads, because it's a much cheaper road that they use. Because I did some research, I've seen some videos of they were talking about how so in cities they actually don't use asphalt roads as much. They use concrete, and so the closest thing to concrete in Minecraft is stone. So that is what we have going on. And so I switched it to stone because it looks more like it. But also it's easier to make because I could just lay down a body of water, pour lava on it, and it makes the stone. The roads aren't marked yet. I haven't gotten to that point yet. And the road isn't finished here, so I have to take the alternative route. But yeah, so hopefully it looks more like a proper city road. Now if we come here, this is a long-term ongoing project. And this is actually my where my storage system will go. Now it's not fully built because I need to make the actual sortation area, sortation stuff. And can I go to sleep, please? So this will be where the sortation stuff goes, because I need a place to put all my stuff. Because as you can see from the starter area, I have like a bunch of stuff strewn throughout this world, and I want to organize it. But I want to make this so it's not just a storage area, but this is also where things get sorted. So anytime I need something, I know where it is. And this is the only building here. Well, this is like one of the only 2 buildings here so far. This is complete. This is my dirt storage. And oh, no, that wasn't supposed to happen. We'll put that there. That's fine. But yeah, as you can see, there is a cascade of chests. And it's sort of a, actually I can show you this. Let me take a stack. So yeah, this is all, it's not full yet. Hopefully it doesn't get full for a while. But if it does, I have this whole other half that I can store in it. And I designed this so, because I do get a lot of dirt in my world. So I designed it so if I want to, I just take a stack of dirt and I could pop it in here. It's got a, it does have a soul sand block. And that sort of just goes all the way up, and it takes it into the... It puts it into the hoppers. There's a water system. And then it sorts it out for me. Or it just dumps it in there. And so that's what that does. And then we'll go over here. Actually, we'll go this way because that's where the continuation stuff is. And I did lay in the roads. Now, these roads are Deep Slate because these I feel like are... maybe not as busy of roads. I mean, they probably are, but this is meant to be more of an industrial area, so I don't see as much like... Yeah, I don't see as much like traffic here, because it's more of like, construction vehicles or maintenance vehicles or industry vehicles. I'm probably wrong about that. I probably should make them stone, but I wanted to make something that was different from the stone, so you could tell that... So that way you could tell that this was a completely different area. So that's why I changed up the road things. This is my iron farm. It's not as efficient, but it is my iron farm. I did take a few villagers and put them together. And so, yeah, and there's a zombie right there. I did copy this from someone. I forget who it is. But, yeah, so I've done this. And it does pretty well. This just marks it off where... This just marks off where this is, because I eventually plan to make this into a building. I just haven't gotten around to it. And then the road leads off here, and that leads to a future project, which I'm not going to get into. You'll just have to subscribe and find out for when that happens. And then we have a wandering trader. What are you selling? Okay. So we've got that. And yeah, so there are some roads that lead off to nowhere currently. And I do have... Yeah, so I do have these marked off for what I want them to become. Now, if we go across, and a lot of people seem to really like this build. I did get a lot of positive comments on this, so thank you. This is my sheep farm. This is my wool farm. Now, I don't do the modern one where it's like you put them in cages or you put them in little spots and shear them. I'm more of a free range person with sheep and other animals. And so I have a giant area here. And I do really like this arch design. This is probably one of my favorite parts of this. It's just it's really ornate and it's really, it's just like, it makes it look really cool and really fancy. And we have all sorts of sheep in here. Now, what we get to do, why is it always raining or something in here? Now, once I've collected all the wool, I can dump it in here, and it sort of goes down into a barrel, and it goes in a hopper. Eventually, this will lead into that. I just haven't hooked it up yet. But that is the plan. Now, we can actually start the real process. These are just small temporary farms, so ignore those. I haven't found proper place for it yet. But if I come here, I guess we should start with the first build of this area. Now, this was because before I wasn't going to make this into a city. Originally this wasn't going to be a city. This was going to be a armadillo sanctuary because this is a savanna biome. And I think I came out here for acacia wood or something. I forget what it was. Or no, I came out here for some armadillo scoots because I came out here around the time of the update for it was the armadillo update. And so that's what I came out here for, and I collected a bunch of armadillos. And I collected their scoots for my dogs. And in fact, you can hear one. Now, before this was a city, this is sort of a settlement. And now I have a little parrot here. He came from the jungle. Hello. Okay. So now we're going to go into the first build of this area, which was my house. And you can see that I have my dog, who is currently being antisocial. But you also have my horse, who is who's just trying to escape. And this is the horse I took through here. I didn't ride him because I didn't ride him for this video because I really want people to take in where everything is and such, but also because he has trouble getting through the forest that you seen earlier. And this is sort of where all the crafting and stuff is. There are some things here. If we come up here, I'll show you the view. It used to have a beautiful view, but I've covered that up since, of course. And yeah, we have this. We have a couple of we have picking my nose. I haven't named that yet. Bunch of storage and stuff. I have my anvil here for renaming. Yeah, so this was like the first house that was here. Now, originally, and this is my bamboo thing. This is where I get my scaffolding and stuff like that. And that's what originally this was. Now, originally, this was my wheat farm and my armadillo zoo. That's originally what this was. But I decided to tear this out because there is a... Yeah, originally this was going to be my wheat farm. Or no, this was my tree... Now, originally this was my tree farm where I gathered trees to build all this stuff. And also my armadillo farm, or I had armadillos. Not a farm, but it was a zoo, but I collected their scoots. But I eventually turned it into this. Now this, I guess we should start with this. This is my current house in the city. It's a pretty big mansion, which is very fitting for someone who is building all this, who is basically the founder. Now if I come in here, this is my house. I have not worked on it since, but you can see there is a first floor. It looks pretty nice. There's a first floor and there's a walking floor. I haven't filled in the other stuff yet, but it's there. Now I have this cow who is called Bessie. Good old Bessie. And then I have here, who is a legend in my channel, if you've been following for a while. This is Butters the sheep. Butters, be more social. Be more social. You stubborn sheep. Yeah, Butters is a little bit stubborn. Okay. And then I have my now this is all my signs of things I want to get done, or list of things. I'm actually going to convert all that into a book and quill for easier transport. All right, so now we have that. It is a pretty big mansion. It's going to get a little bit bigger in the future. Now, what we're going to do is, let's see. I think we'll start here. Now, this is going to be a building. I just haven't bothered to start on it yet. I don't know why. This is my cobblestone farm. So this is like my cobblestone farm, and this is a cobblestone generator. It is currently shut off. And then this is, well, it was this is technically supposed to be my what is it? A concrete farm. I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet. And that is because, yeah, and then this is my furnace. This is my furnace array. This is where I smelt a bunch of things. There's a few things in there right now. Because originally this was going to be a, now I was thinking that this is going to be sort of a, well, this is going to be I was going to have two pushers here. So I was going to have one for the cobblestone, one for this. And then some kind of TNT cannon or something that drops down, blows it up, and then it converts it into blocks. Just so it can be collected up. Just makes it all in one thing. And then here is my pool of lava. And then I took a few things of lava from there. And then I took some dripstone and made a lava collection system. So I have infinite amounts of lava. As I found it to be pretty useful. Even though it's a little dangerous. Okay, now we come into here, which is sort of a Zen Garden in the city. Man, it's turned nighttime like really quick in this world. Or either that or I'm just blabbering a lot. But yeah, it's sort of meant to be a another Zen Garden in this world, but it's sort of like a little park. And this is a sakura tree it's a cross between a sakura tree and a bonsai tree. The shape of the trunk is inspired by the bonsai, as well as the shape of the leaves. But it's meant to be a sakura tree. This is meant to be a giant Japanese flag because this is where this stuff would have came from. And then we come in here and checking for mobs. Sometimes they come in here. This is a Japanese restaurant, an open air restaurant. And as you can see, it does sink down a little bit, and I'm quite happy with it. This is where all your staff would work and things of that nature. And then we come to this part. And this is my Optimus Prime head, which this is another build that you guys seem to really like, and I'm really glad that you did. And I'm pretty happy with this build, and it's just something I can look out and see every time when I come out of my mansion. And it does have a little quote, "Till all are one," by Optimus Prime. And then it's another little park. I decided to make it into a park with a nice little path here. And then we can come here, and this is a Lego brick, but it's not just any Lego brick, because I wanted to make so I wanted to make these two areas. I wanted to make this whole area kind of some of my favorite things, or some things that I'm really into when I'm not playing Minecraft. And so I made a Lego brick, and it's not just any Lego brick. It's a Lego brick without a door that goes into a house. Now the inside of this was actually inspired by there's another channel. It's not Minecraft, but it's Gemma Wheeler. I hope I'm saying that right. But she makes videos of tiny house transformations. Like so she has videos where she makes she'll take tiny little houses or tiny houses or things that weren't originally houses that have been abandoned, and she figures out how to fit homes into them. And I just thought it was such a cool idea, and so I wanted to replicate that idea here inside the Lego brick. So it is kind of a tiny home. There was stuff here that I was going to build, but I decided against it in the end because it just right now it's vacant. So I guess if anyone wants to live in a Lego brick, there you go. But yeah, and then this is my this is actually my my super composter. And that is because if I come over here, this might get changed in the future because it's not as efficient as I'd like it to be. This is my giant wheat farm underneath my house. And this is how I'm staying alive currently, is by eating bread. So, and then there are roads that go out there. I'll show you in a little bit. Don't worry, guys. We're almost done with this tour. Now, if I come here, this goes to my nether portal. I'm not going to go there this time because there's really nothing there. It's just paths that lead out to different biomes. And then this goes into, this is supposed to be my, like my speakeasy for the nether creatures. So I don't get a lot of piglins and stuff, but when they do come through, I kind of want to set it up so I want to put an egg there, or a turtle egg, and so basically they'll just drop down to their death. And you can see a campfire there. So essentially it'll just kill them, but it'll sort of make it look. I didn't want to just make something where they just walk off awkwardly into something and then they die. I wanted to make it look nice, and so I gave them like a little building where they could walk in. They would see the egg, they walk in here, and then they drop to their death. And if I'm not careful, I will do that too. And I also decorate the interior, not too well, but just give a little indication that there's stuff going on here. Just sort of like a little club or speakeasy or a bar. So yeah. And then this place does have a few chairs and seats. Well, let's see. Now, there were buildings here originally, but I wasn't happy with them. They were just kind of boring. And that's where this kind of comes from, because this is like a little park. I guess I can introduce you to my armadillos. So if I come in here, gotta be careful so they don't escape. I don't know if they're here. They should be here, but yeah, this is supposed to be a bakery. I'm probably going to tear this down, or I might reuse it for something. But you can see that there is this nice little area here, and there are some armadillos, and they have dropped a few scoots. There's a few of them here. I think there's more if I climb up here. So either they're hiding or they're all dead, because I had way more than 3. This was where the garage door used to be. Because this used to be a delivery hatch where you could have a delivery truck pull up and drop off things. Of course, that is no longer possible because that has been since covered up by a bunch of other stuff. So we have that. Now I come to this diagonal, and this is supposed to be my boardwalk that I've been working on in the background. Now let's see. Now this road was one of the first roads in this city, and now my roads I've went from what was it? I think I've gone from like 11 blocks, and I've gone down to 9 blocks for a 2-lane road. But since I didn't want, but it was either with these I could squeeze them together or something like that, and so I figured, well, this is a good opportunity to add something where I have a middle median. And so that's why all this deep slate has stayed. Because originally this was deep slate. But I changed it out to... I'm going to change it to stone. To fit the rest of my roads. But I wanted to leave this here. Because I could just put whatever I want on top of this. And so yeah. It's sort of be... it's kind of like a road transformation. Refurbishing of a road. And let's see. Now they're not in yet. So I have had to put a couple bridges to get across. This is... Now we're getting into more city. This is supposed to be my pet supply store, where you can get a bunch of stuff here. And also I'm pretty happy with this. I did name tag a bunch of things. Well, not name tag, but I did retitle things. I also put a bunch of signs, kind of like what you see in a real supermarket, where it tells you where things are. And then there's a purchasing desk or purchasing counter. Then you go out throughout the store, and you can see that there is a parrot, and I am very generic, and I named it Polly the parrot because why not? So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff here, And, oh yeah, I guess I should show this. And this is supposed to be a security office, or the break room and such, but there's nothing there at the moment because I haven't worked on it since. So there's that, and then this actually goes up to a second floor. Oh, actually, well, this goes up. This also goes to the roof access. But it does go into a little apartment. It's very barren, but it looks nice. Now, well, and then this goes into a cat sanctuary. Yeah, I wanted to make some kind. Now this is actually inspired by a place that is nearby me, which I think is really cool looking. And so, and in that place, it's sort of meant to be like you can adopt cats, but you can also, it's like a cat cafe, but it's not a cafe. And it's very open. I wanted to leave the middle space open so cats could, crawl around the floor and stuff because they tend to like that. But there's also a few cat displays. So when you're walking by, you can see the cats in the window, which was a part of the building that I've seen. And then I also built them a giant cat tree on the other wall so they can just climb a bunch of things even though they're sitting. I do technically own these cats just so they don't run away or despawn. But, yeah. So we have that. And then that is, and this is a pretty big building for that. There was gonna be a second floor of this building. I'm not certain I will do that. I think I will. Now this was actually the first building to establish the city, and it has seen a very beautiful makeover, as you can see. Yeah, a creeper blew this up, as well, all things Minecraft. And this was where my storage was and where I stayed for a few nights because, yeah, this is. I haven't changed all this stuff yet, but as you can see, this was the first building to go here in the city, and there's a zombie below me. Yeah, and it hasn't been finished. The floors haven't even been filled in, but it was there. And I think that, yeah, this was like the first street I worked on. You have this building, which is a giant angled building. I do like it, but I'm probably going to tear it down along with this whole row of buildings. They look nice, but they don't really fit the vibe I'm going for anymore. So, yeah, so these buildings are kind of like the last little bits I have. So they're kind of just like faux buildings, like in a movie set at this point. But I'm quite happy with the way things are turning out with this world. And let's see, I think, is there anything else I want to show? And then, oh yeah, there is. So yeah, that's where the, yeah, so that's where this all went so far. And this is kind of, yeah, this is, I like these buildings, but they gotta go. They've been here for way too long. That'll be something to do in a future episode. And then this is actually my, now this is where my mine is for this. I'm probably going to make this into a construction site. That's why I really want to do that. I'm strongly thinking that. This is supposed to be an item collector, and it's also meant to be my elevator because this is a big scary drop, and you will die if you fall down. Luckily, I've never done that. But I did make this. Now, this isn't a bubble vader, so we're going to have to be very quick. I did make some windows so you can enjoy the view. But if we go down here, and I did use netherrack just because that's what I had a lot of at the time. But if we come down here, it does come down to this very nice thing here with a access to the elevator, but it also has access to this little, just a little area for the person that's working down here to hang out. And so my thinking is that you could send yourself up here, or when you collect enough ingredients, you can actually, or materials, you can just take your materials and you can throw them in there and it goes up into that chest that was above there. So that was the idea behind that. And this is my cave where I've been ever since, or this is like the cave I've been using the most, because this has a lot of deep slate and a lot of other materials, and it's a pretty grand area. I can come down here, I guess. I just gotta be careful. I don't know how well lit. I'm pretty sure this is pretty well lit, but Can never be too careful. There is a cave that continues this way, but I've cut it off because mobs. There's probably like, yeah, because mobs and torches and yeah, it's just really big. But I have dug this whole thing out, and yeah, I've dug this like entire thing out, and I've found like a bunch of it. This is like a giant andesite deposit that was here. You can see our elevator from here, and you can see how big it is. It does give off classic Minecraft vibes, I think, kind of, sort of. But it looks nice, and I will light this up. And then this actually goes up to here. I'll show off the. I guess I'll show off the cave in this. Just another andesite thing. I guess we're exploring a cave now. Completely off track or topic, but I think this goes to a. Nope, that's it. All right, so let's see. We'll return to the surface. And I will actually, yeah. So we'll return to the surface. But you can see that. Now, you might be able to guess like why I had to build the elevator. And that is actually because this was all torn out because this was all andesite and stuff. But also because it does take health points sometimes. And so I actually took this area and ooh, more diamonds. Nice. But I basically, now this is actually, this is artificial. This wasn't a cave or anything. I literally dug this out to get a bunch of materials, but also to put the elevator so that that way the elevator has a nice flat area to land. So yeah, that's basically it. Now we got to do this again. Okay, eating doesn't slow down swimming, which makes sense. Come on, can we do it? And we want to kind of turn this way. Come on, come on. There we go. Yeah, I get up here just in time before I start dying. Alright, so I guess the last thing I can show, because this is already a long enough video. I'm not sure how long this is going to take to process. This is going to be kind of crazy. But I wanted to show everything in this video because it is the special 100 episode, and why not show every single thing that's here? Also, so that way you guys aren't confused as to where things are, and for the new people who might be new to the channel or haven't seen all the stuff, I wanted to get them caught up. This is the road expansion, and this is a pretty recent project. As you can see, there are no roads yet because I haven't finished it. But it is a pretty nice looking area, I would personally say. But this is where all the roads are going to go. And yeah, this is where all the roads are planned to go. And this is the other side of my mansion. And yeah, these roads are actually these roads are actually where I started to experiment with curved roads and diagonals. All these roads here are a lot more organic. Well, I say organic, but they're a lot more curved and stuff. Like this is one giant T intersection, but this is well curved. So if I come up here, I'm gonna try to get up here. But you can kind of see that this is meant to be more. This is meant to be more fluid and meant to be a lot smoother turns and more gradual stuff. And this does lead into the freeway, and the freeway is meant to go all throughout the world. A few villagers will lose their houses in the future, but that's okay. We can. I'm gonna build on that side too, so they're not homeless. Well, kind of, sort of, lore wise. But I can come up here, and you can see that. Yeah, because these roads, I really do like these roads, and these actually inspired. Because the other roads that are in the city before I started doing this part, they were actually diagonals. Like just straight up 45 degrees, and that didn't look very good. So I decided to take this opportunity to experiment, and I built these giant. I decided to try and make roads that were a lot more organic and better turned. And so I'm gonna show you one of my favorite parts of this road, and it's actually this, which is this is actually a fork in the road. Because you got this part that comes here, and it goes off to the rest of the city. They have this here, and that goes off to spawn. And I just really like the shape of this because it turned out so well, and it looks really beautiful and nice looking. And yeah, so that looks really nice, and I think it's a really good looking area. And I can't just jump in the water anymore. Oh, yes I can. Okay. But yeah, so that is, I think that's basically everything, as much as I can cover. And I'm pretty sure someone will point out something I've missed, but I don't think I have. I've pretty much covered everything that's in this world. But all right, now I know it's a little bit long of an episode, but I still hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, but I wanted to show off everything and everything. My voice cracked. I wanted to show off everything, and so you guys are up to date and know where things are. And I'm pretty sure things that are missed, but that's all right. We can always do it in the next one, or you'll just see it throughout the episodes. I just wanted to give a preference for everyone that was new to the channel. And also, this is episode 100, which is a pretty big deal because, as I've said, my last series only lasted 87 episodes, so it's kind of a pretty big deal that this lasted as long as it did. And yeah. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I guess we'll end it off here. Makes sense. It's in front of my mansion. And it's a pretty iconic build here, I think. But yeah, anyways, guys, I hope you like this world tour. And if you did, can you please leave a like and subscribe? Because it does mean a lot to me. It does help out the channel. Hit that bell, because if you don't hit that bell, then you might miss when I upload next. Sort of a long episode, I know. But if you have watched this far, then I do thank you for watching. And if not, well, I'll see you in the next episode or something. Anyways, that is enough for me. I am Eject1. And until next time, you have been ejected.